Greetings and welcome to the Mount Rushmore podcast. My name is Jeff, and I'm joined, as always, by my good buddies Richard.
Hello.
And Michael.
Howdy.
Richard and Michael, they are at each other's throats in a tete-a-tete, a mano, when they deliberate things. And this time around, the thing is rabbits.
Who the hell came up with this idea?
I did. And I think rabbits are interesting, and as iconography, you see rabbits a lot of times in like art, and they represent different things.
Yep.
And in literature, rabbits are fascinating characters. They can lead us into places. They can be represented in insanity, like some characters. And they can be naughty rabbits. If you've looked
Wait a second.
I've
been preparing. Listen, my list has like Herschel Goldstein on there.
Okay.
Rabbits.
Not rabbis.
Oh.
Nuts.
Yeah, you left one letter makes all the difference, you guys.
Reddit. I'm in trouble.
I want to hear this, Herschel. Let's do rabbis next time.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to hear about your rabbits. And we started with Michael last week. Let's start with Richard's rabbit.
All right, my first rabbit is Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. Of course.
The king of the rabbits.
He's the fucking best.
He's the top dog of rabbits.
Yeah, he's as far as rabbits go, there's no rabbitier rabbit than Bugs Bunny.
He's wascally.
He is wascally. He's a wascally rabbit.
Yeah.
And we've talked about Bugs Bunny a bit in the secondary Looney Tunes villains episode.
Boy,
that was a while ago. I think that's a first season episode. So wow. It's a good episode. So if you want to dig back in the archives for that, I would highly recommend it.
Who did I choose on there? Probably Nasty Canasta or the Shropshire Slasher.
I think we had the Witch.
Oh sure, Witch Hazel.
Witch Hazel, yeah.
He's perfect.
But I appreciate that Bugs Bunny is versatile.
Yeah.
He can be the person or the rabbit who is just minding his own business down in his hole, reading a book with his robe on, eating a carrot, and then some sort of chaos comes to him. Or he can be the agent of chaos. He can be the one who is kind of interfering in someone else's best laid plans.
Oh.
I mean, most of the time it's the former.
Yeah.
Especially as you get away from the very early Bugs Bunnies, the ones where he's like super skinny and Elmer looks completely different, like the first 5 or 6 years of Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah, from like 38 until something or other.
Like 40 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, first couple of years. Yeah.
There are all cartoons in like the first version of all cartoons are fucked up.
Yes.
Like just like Mickey Mouse was like fucked up. Bugs,
shooting
Daffy,
people, he had a cigar.
Even like you look at like the first like Porky Pig and like the first Elmer Fudd. Oh, he's just one messed up looking dude.
Even like the Simpsons, how they evolved.
Yeah. It's a growing period.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it takes a while to figure out exactly what they're supposed to look like and what they're supposed to do. And with Warner Brothers cartoons, much like with Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny was much more frenetic when he was first kind of introduced. And it was over time that he kind of became this sort of almost like, Marx brother, Groucho Marx type character, which is really what I think most people associate him with.
Mm-hmm.
That's, there's, Jeff, you brought it up at the top of the show where, rabbits or bunnies, they represent all these different aspects. And, there's like this trickster rabbit sort of personality that exists out there. And Bugs Bunny definitely falls into that. In that, like you said, Richard, he's always kind of like, not always, but he's often minding his own business, then he gets involved. But his getting involved involves like fooling and making a fool of and, really putting it to the person that has aggrieved him. And he is like this chaos revenge creature.
Right.
That just, but he does it with like trickery and mockery and turning whatever it is the other person is doing against them. And he's just great.
That is interesting. That way he is a lot more like Groucho than I think he might have early on been fashioned kind of against, almost like a, oh God, who was the guy who was James Cagney, or somebody like that, like almost just kind of a tough talking New York type of character.
Well, I think eventually they started kind of taking some of his mannerisms from like Clark Gable's character in It Happened One Night.
Yeah,
a lot of like carrot chewing and just fast talking, and he was very sly and kind of a trickster too, especially while they're on the road trying to get her back to I can't remember her name,
Claudette Colbert.
Claudette Colbert back to King Wesley or whatever. But so I think probably it happens a lot in the cartoons from the 40s through 50s even, where like the main character of a particular cartoon takes on these aspects of more famous like the Flintstones were just based on the Honeymooners, and so many like personality types start to just put this person and just put him in a bunny's body, and then that's him, and then just go with it, and it's fine. I don't know what Bugs Bunny, I think Bugs Bunny nowadays has turned into just this weird thing that I don't recognize. I mean, you watch the Looney Tunes, Space Jam, a new Legacy.
Did you?
Sure. And, it's just like, well, he's fine, but he's like, I don't see Bugs Bunny as like a leader of men. He's like just like this. Yeah. He's Bugs Bunny.
I think unlike Daffy, I don't know if Daffy can do this, but definitely not like some of the foils. Bugs can manifest a drag costume out of nowhere. Bugs has these magical attributes where the other characters are just kind of like standing there stilted, like wondering how he's doing all this stuff. So I think, anything, rabbits have traditionally led people to chase them down a rabbit hole and been mischievous and uncatchable. So I think that's where he comes from. All right, Bugs, you chose it and you copied it, or also chose it, Michael. So, Michael, what's your second?
I'll go with the second most famous bunny. I'm going to go with the Easter Bunny.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Easter Bunny. I don't know if it's like hyphens, like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny kind of started becoming popular, or the stories of the Easter Bunny started kind of popping up in the 1700s, kind of late 1700s.
Really?
And he kind of acted more or less as like a Santa Claus type character. He would kind of deliver presents to good boys and girls the night before Easter, and then they'd wake up and they'd get their eggs, which are another aspect of rabbits are like kind of this quasi fertility sort of thing. But they'd start delivering eggs and little presents and fruits and things to kids that were good. I don't think there's any of that stuff that applies now.
Right.
I can't remember, like, I don't know, Felix, stay in your bed or else the Easter Bunny's not going to deliver things. It's just like, oh yeah, well, he just comes. He just drops off he hides the eggs for you to find for some reason. And then you get a chocolate version of him that you consume.
Especially bite the ears off first.
You go through the ears and... he's just like the Easter Bunny character is just this kind of weird. It's strange, it's obviously there's ties to like paganism and rituals of rebirth with spring, and Christianity has co-opted everything from kind of other religions and other cultures to make it their own, so we don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, hey, there's a bunny delivering eggs. That's pretty cool. I do like the really like fucked up versions of like the Easter Bunny, like when you see him and he's like all dressed up and he's got like glasses on and a bow tie, like at like the White House.
Right.
Fuck, that guy is weird.
Oh, you mean like in an editorial cartoon from a paper in the 1800s?
Like they have like some guy dressed up in like an Easter Bunny costume,
a walk around costume,
but he's like, who?
Yeah.
When they're like going through, and they must have been using the same Easter Bunny company for forever, and they're like, this is the one we use. And it's like, why this one?
Yeah, I think it's rare. I think they also don't photograph very well. I've never seen. I've seen rare to see an Easter Bunny costume that doesn't look frightening. They usually have weird big eyes. And,
a lot of, they're often like multicolored. Like they'll wear a vest that isn't like a pastel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only. I think what we need to do is we need to get Coca-Cola involved.
Yeah.
To redesign Bugs Bunny the way they did with Santa Claus. They kind of, they kind of modeled Santa into what we know as Santa today. Let's get a big ad company to be like, "Hey, this is just what the Easter Bunny looks like. We don't have to think about
this.
it anymore. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a gimp. It's a gimp suit. And he's got an egg ball gag in his mouth. That's what it is.
All right, man, Freddie.
All right, my second choice is the March Hare from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Notably the best friend of the Mad Hatter, and also batshit crazy, just like the Mad Hatter. Carries a mallet. Keep in mind, I only know the Disney version of Alice in Wonderland. Have not read the books. Did not see the Tim Burton one.
Okay.
So my frame of reference is all Disney at this point.
Okay.
The original Disney. I don't know. It's just a very iconic sort of. Michael, you mentioned the fact that rabbits sometimes can be associated with madness, right?
Yeah, Jeff did.
Jeff did.
I think he was referring to a certain Trix rabbit.
Yeah.
Or are you thinking of this Hare?
Yeah, well, I think it's, from a behavior standpoint, we think of the March Hare, and then I think in traditional whatever that rabbits breed in the spring, and so their behavior is kind of chaotic because it's based on just trying to find a mate.
Right, and that's not necessarily the case with the March Hare. Mm-hmm. I mean, physically, I mean, not him personally, but it does play on this sort of archetype of bunnies that we oftentimes have. I love the idea that basically he's so crazy that nobody wants to sit at the big table with him and the Mad Hatter and do the unbirthday parties and all this stuff, which is why they're so excited to see Alice and have her sort of be part of this, because they don't have friends, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun one. Okay. I haven't read a lot of is that Lewis Carroll? Yeah. But it is interesting that rabbits, as they appear in fables and fairy tales and things like that, they usually have some information for the protagonist. They usually have some kind of message, or they lead them into another place or something like that. So it's fun to kind of see them in literature. We are at our halftime, and we got to say we're kind of really going
Mach 5 on this one.
Mach 5 on this one, but also
we're doing a tortoise and the hare sort of thing, and we're the hare.
Yes,
we're the hare.
We're just jumping out, and then Jeff's going to take a nap while we're talking.
Sorry, guys.
And
well, I'm just imploring you, the listener, to send us your ideas for topics. That would be really cool. And what months have we done? January,
that's it.
We haven't done another month?
We got 11 more to go.
We got 11 more to go. So if you say March, you're not helping us. Come on.
One of the two topics that we did as our test run that never aired, but that we did before the show started, was the Mount Rushmore of months.
Oh yeah.
So we can always come back to that one.
We're much more wizened older gentlemen now.
Yeah, we've been through the podcasting wars.
Yeah, we'll just look at each other and go.
We're recording that in Jeff's living room of his old apartment.
Was that right? Wow.
And now in the garage.
Look how far we've come.
We've moved to every room of this house, I think. September, am I right? Yeah, man. Wow. So yeah, you could do that by commenting on a post on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and let us know your topic. We're back, and then Michael's going to let us know his third.
My third choice is the Playboy bunny.
Oh, right. I got a boner just sitting here. Even just saying it.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Mission accomplished? I don't know. The Playboy bunny started as a part of Hugh Hefner's kind of Playboy dinner club that he would have, his kind of gentleman's club. And he'd have his waitresses dress up in cocktail waitresses dress up as bunnies. With the bunny ears and these little bunny tails and these.
Was he not an icon of the magazine before that?
Probably.
Okay.
Who knows?
I think he was like.
I think the actual Playboy bunny itself didn't quite debut
Oh, okay.
Like as a person, like as the thing that we kind of think of as like a girl dressed up in kind of
Yeah.
like the kind
Yeah.
of skimpy outfit until he kind of opened like the Playboy
Okay.
dinner club.
Okay.
But, certainly the Playboy bunny iconography is just world known, just kind of forever kind of just associated with this, his this brand of Gentleman's Nudie magazine. But there's like I think that there was an aspect of it being a little more high class because of whether it was like the dinner club and his kind of jazz things that he'd put on, or the Playboy Jazz Festival they still currently put on. But I think that when we're talking about, rabbits, and there is just like an aspect of reproduction and sexuality. I'm not saying bunnies are sexy, but I'm not saying that Bugs Bunny.
No, I was going to say, yeah,
isn't sexy. But I think that just fucking like rabbits and like that sort of aspect of like these animals that are reproducing all the time, and I could see how it would be like you can get it associated with sex and pornography and all that stuff.
I think some of the original in the publications, I believe there was a maybe even has a name. There was like a male bunny type of rabbit, male rabbit type of figure, and you'd see this rabbit character wearing a suit. I don't know if Esquire magazine was in publication. I think Playboy started in '55 or something like that. But I think it was almost a counter to that character who was in Esquire. To do with a monocle. I forget what his name is, like Eustace P. something or something like that. For some reason I think there was some early, and as I recall, it almost looked a little bit like the Fantastic Mr. Fox, kind of stop motion characters or something. But there's maybe kind of a symbolic of this, maybe clever, but a little bit racy type of character. Who knows if they are also leading the viewer down the rabbit hole a little bit. But yeah, I think this is one of the things. It's almost like the Ramones T-shirt that has gained its own ecosystem beyond the thing that preceded it. So like I've seen tattoos of the rabbit on people who seem too young to even have ever heard of the magazine, or just I don't think it even is completely associated with the magazine anymore. It's got its own
it's outgrown its original purpose.
Yeah,
sure.
And I don't think the magazine even is really the magazine anymore, right? I don't think that they.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it really exists the way it had existed for 50 years.
Yeah, I think they tried to
reshuffle it into it to just
remove the
nudes,
nudity.
And then that didn't work, so I think they went back to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not that I would know.
Yeah.
I read it for the articles.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay, the Playboy Bunny. Richard, what's your third?
My third one
is the penthouse
the
bunny.
penthouse bunny. Now, my third one is the Roger Rabbit.
The Roger Rabbit dance.
The dance.
Okay.
Also, my fourth choice is
Is it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Are y'all serious?
Roger Rabbit, the dance.
Not the character, because we talked about him enough in the annoying cartoon characters episode. But the dance. One of many 90s hip-hop dances that I attempted to do over the years.
Of course.
And thought that I should be able to pull off and cannot pull off whatsoever.
You have to be able to do the Running Man first, and then you have to be able to kind of do the Running Man backwards.
Yes.
And then also be a lot more floppy.
Yeah, that's what. Hence the name, the Roger Rabbit, because the name comes from when you do the dance. It's very like loose-limbed, kind of the same way Roger Rabbit moves.
Cheers to you and me.
Yeah, pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
And there was this whole like craze of like different hip hop dances in the 90s. There's the Kid and Play Kick. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the Roger Rabbit. What else was there? There was the Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll. Humpty Dance tried to get in on it, but it was just, I don't think it quite took off in the same way.
No, I mean you didn't have Hammer doing it. I mean, I remember Vanilla Ice doing the Roger Rabbit. It was, if you were a certain type of hip hop artist, meaning the one who was more interested in dancing than actually doing hip hop music, you had.
I'm looking at you, Karis one.
You had the Roger Rabbit in your repertoire.
Okay. Wow.
I think it was also perfectly named. Can you imagine
Yeah.
someone who had done this and they're like, someone else was watching and be like, you look like that fucking bunny. Was that one? That one from that movie? That one that's really annoying? Roger Rabbit? Yeah. That's what you're dancing like. You're dancing like Roger Rabbit right now.
I love that the guy was trying to hype it up as, man, I'm doing the Huckleberry Hound. No. Hey, it's Touche Turtle.
Oh, here comes El Kabong.
Yeah, there's El Kabong. No, man. We're not going to fall over that. Well, then, Richard, I guess you got to tell us what your last one
That
is.
is his last one.
No, I got one more.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. My bad.
Yeah, that was my third.
Okay.
My fourth one, legendary country singer Eddie Rabbitt,
Oh, okay.
who I loved growing up. Listening
Yeah.
to Eddie Rabbitt really puts me in the mood of my sister Linda,
Okay.
who was a country music fan, even though and the rest of our family was to varying degrees. But she was like into that Crystal Gale,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of like urban cowboy
Yeah.
type country music.
Okay.
And Eddie Rabbitt was squarely in that.
Yeah. He's from New Jersey or something.
He was born in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Grew up in New Jersey. The real hotbed of country music.
Yeah.
He got into country music because when he was a Boy Scout, one of the troop leaders would play country songs, and he thought that was cool. So he started to learn country songs based off of that.
Huh.
And just pleasant songs. Kind of these songs that had this kind of rockabilly kind of
Yeah.
chug to it, but without any of the rawness of rockabilly. Love a Rainy Night,
Yeah.
which went to number one. One of the back in the day when there was such a thing as crossover hits,
Yeah.
when you could be a country artist, but then make a song that would appeal to the broad pop world, and then you could become a number one artist. That doesn't really exist anymore. Everyone kind of stays within their own
Yeah.
worlds. Driving My Life Away, Every Which Way But
yeah.
Loose, tons of hits.
Yeah.
And just, like I said, just a musician who you don't think about a lot, but when you start listening to some of the songs, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
That's great. He's like a more talent. He's like Christopher Cross on steroids.
Okay.
Kind of.
Those are also kind of like stadium hits too. Like those would be great in between inning songs to hear too. Yeah.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing "Love a Rainy Night" on like the Kansas City rock station. Sure, yeah.
I mean, it was number one Billboard hit.
I think something has happened in which they've definitely segregated. I think maybe since Garth Brooks might have segregated those charts even more due to the need to have a different number ones, because like it's a marketing thing. The number one thing.
Sure, that's all the charts are anyway.
Yeah. So if somebody's got the number one on all these different spots, it kind of like taking up a spot that another guy could be hyping up.
So Eddie Rabbitt, very influential in his own way, even though he didn't make even though you wouldn't say his music was like edgy or transformative or anything like that, but the type of music he made helped country music cross over in the 80s. And that's important.
I think of like an Oak Ridge, like Elvira or something like that might have.
Yeah, or your Kenny Rogers
Yeah.
type stuff.
Yeah. Okay, dudes, rabbits. We love them. I eat them.
Do you?
Fatal
Richard's-
attraction sort of situation.
Richard's
going
eating
on
rabbit
right here.
soup in January.
Rabbit soup?
It's all going to be rabbit soup. Let's go with Bugs and Roger Rabbit Dance, because those are each twofers. And then let's go for Eddie Rabbitt, because Richard's eyes just kind of sparkled.
They really did.
They really
Yeah.
sparkled when he's talking about it.
Wistful.
Wistful, yeah. And I just, because I find Hugh Hefner very fascinating, and that organization very fascinating.
Did you say gross?
Gross, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with Playboy Bunny. This has Bun, the Mount Rushmore of...
I hope you're
Rabbit.
hoppy with your choices, Jeff.
I'm Rabbit. No, seriously, guys, I stepped on a rusty nail, and now I've got rabies. Can you wait?
That's not how that works.
That's not how it works.
But you do have lockjaw.
You do have lockjaw.
So congratulations on persevering through that to record 2 episodes today.
How does he do that? I'm always Jeff.
I'm Richard.
Hi, Michael.
Boing, boing, boing.